The Universal Hip Hop Museum gives people the opportunity to learn all about the culture of hip hop and more. Here now to share us a little bit more about the museum and the upcoming inaugural Black Tie Banquet and Fundraiser, we welcome now Universal Hip Hop Museum Executive Director Rocky Bucano, and thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Hey, it's all right. It's a good time. I mean, obviously the Hip Hop Museum, the Universal Hip Hop Museum is making its way. Talk to us about the museum and where you are today.
So just recently the city had made an announcement that they approved a proposal that we submitted for a vacant lot on 149th and Exterior. The project is called the Bronx Point. We partnered with a real estate developer named L&M Development Partners and Type A on a massive affordable housing project. So it's an affordable housing project component that includes a brick and mortar space for the Universal Hip Hop Museum, which will finally have a home for hip hop.
That's it. And so when we talk about this museum, what can we expect to happen with the museum?
So, you know, it's going to take us about 5 years to get this project built. We're going to break ground in 2019, and then about 40 months after that, we'll be able to open doors. But essentially, we'll be curating the entire history of hip hop, from the very beginning when hip hop first started here in the South Bronx to where it is presently around the world. So we'll have different exhibits for, you know, from the pioneers like Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash to, you know, current artists like Kendrick Lamar and Drake and even Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. And we're looking forward to having that right here in the borough of the Bronx, obviously the home of hip hop. When we talk about this, obviously there's some money attached to it, got to raise some money, and you got a fundraiser coming up this weekend, huh?
Yeah, we have a Black Tie Banquet. It's our first Black Tie Banquet. It's Sunday, October 8th at the Eastwood Manor, which is located at 3371 Eastchester Road. Tickets are $100, but that includes an open bar, dinner. You get to meet some of the hip-hop icons that will be in the place. You get to meet our board of directors. You get to learn about the museum. Shawnee Culture from Hot 97 is our host, and this is being presented by one of our board members. His name is Reggie Peters. Mm-hmm. And DJ Knuckles will be providing the music for us that night. So
what does it mean to be able to put this museum and bring it back home to the borough of the Bronx where it all got started from? What does it mean for you?
Well, for me personally, I'm one of the unsung heroes of hip hop. Mm-hmm. I started as a DJ in 1974, so I was there from the very beginning when hip hop first started. I'm from the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx, lived here for 57 years. So to make sure that hip hop remained as part of this history, you know, the fabric of the Bronx, was very important to me, to make sure that people understood that hip-hop started here in the Bronx by a bunch of teenagers who had no idea that it was going to turn into become one of the most popular art forms on the entire planet.
Talked with Curtis Blow not too long ago, and he always expressed his excitement about having hip-hop come back to home, the Bronx, and having it here. What's been the response like for those who've been in the beginning stages, the foundation, the pioneers of this? What kind of response are you getting from them?
Well, everybody's excited about the project. Everybody understands the long journey that it took to get to this point. You know, there's been several other attempts to establish a hip-hop museum, and for whatever reasons, they never made it. But this project found its sea legs and was able to break through. We got the support of the mayor's office, support of the state assembly, support of the city council, where we're honoring Fernando Cabrera, council member Fernando Cabrera, because he was one of the first elected officials to really step up front and put his name behind the project. So we're extremely happy that hip hop has a home where it actually originated from.
So if people want to get involved, and how can they become a part of this process? Because obviously it's a process and still some miles to go.
Yes, so they can go to our website, which is uhhm.org. They can go to Eventbrite and buy a ticket and come hang out with us this weekend. Tickets are $100. They just go to Eventbrite, look up Universal Hip Hop Museum, and if they want to get involved, they want to volunteer, they want to learn about donating artifacts or memorabilia that they may have in their house, they can contact me at rocky@uhhm.org.
So you tell people, don't throw it away. Hold on, there may be some use for it.
There may be some use for it.
So make sure that you give to Rocky. Make sure that he can do that. And hip hop has always been one. And we talked about just a few seconds ago the arts, and we talked about how the arts always has been a blessing to people who really have been going through and struggles and hardships and stuff like that. Talk to us about hip hop and the evolution of hip hop and where it is today, because obviously when I talk to some guys, they say we didn't know it was going to go all the way across the world the way that it is right now, but it has evolved now in Japan and Korea. You name it, hip hop is there.
So hip hop has always been a voice for the voiceless. It has always been about peace, love, unity, and having fun. It has evolved and has become more commercialized, and there are some good aspects of it and some bad aspects of hip-hop, but overall, the beauty of the art form is 5 elements. There's the DJing, there's the MCing, there's the breakdancing, there's the graffiti, and there's the knowledge. So that's what the museum focuses on. It's the evolution of those elements and the impact that it has had, not just here in America, but around the world in different communities of color.
All right. Well, Rocky, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us, and we hope that the inaugural Black Tie event is a grand one. Of course, we got to bring it back so you can continue to update us on things that are happening.
Thank you.
All righty. Listen, taking a quick break, we're going to return and talk about a bike tour that will eventually impact a lot of people. We'll tell you about that in a moment.